From a tiny Queen's apartment, struggling waitress Sarah danced at Mr. Sterling's penthouse to save her son, but a secret was about to explode. Life in New York City was a brutal hustle for Sarah, a single mom. Every day felt like a fight just to keep food on the table for herself and her 5-year-old son, Mikey. Working double shifts at a diner downtown barely covered rent and daycare. When her boss announced cutbacks, Sarah felt a cold dread. Mikey needed her, and she was running out of options fast. One frantic afternoon, while juggling coffee orders, Sarah noticed a man holding court in a corner booth. He radiated power, an aura of quiet command. His tailored suit and intense blue eyes set him apart. Customers whispered his name, Julian Sterling, a billionaire recluse rumored to be as ruthless as he was rich. Julian's gaze lingered on Sarah as she worked, a silent intensity that made her uneasy. That evening, as Sarah clocked out, the diner manager slipped her a sealed envelope. "Mr. Sterling asked me to give you this," he mumbled, avoiding eye contact. Sarah's hands trembled as she opened it. Inside, a stark white card read, "Sarah Jenkins, I have a proposition. Meet me tomorrow, 8 p.m., address below. Come alone, Julian Sterling." Her heart hammered against her ribs. A proposition from Julian Sterling? This could be her lifeline, or a plunge into something dangerous. But Mikey's worried little face flashed in her mind. Sarah had to take the risk. The next night, after tucking Mikey into bed with a promise to be back soon, Sarah arrived at the address. It was a skyscraper penthouse overlooking Central Park, a world away from her cramped apartment. A butler, impeccably dressed, led her through rooms dripping with luxury to a study where Julian Sterling waited. He rose as she entered, his presence even more imposing up close. "Ms. Jenkins, thank you for coming," he said, his voice deep and smooth. "I understand you're in a difficult situation. I believe I can help." Sarah sat, the plush chair doing little to ease her tension. "What do you want?" she asked, cutting to the chase. Julian leaned forward. "I need a dancer." Sarah frowned, confusion clouding her worry. "A dancer?" "Yes, for private performances. My associates appreciate artistry. In return, I offer a substantial sum, enough to secure your and your son's future." Silence hung in the air, broken only by the city's distant hum. The offer was unbelievable, yet something felt off. Julian Sterling didn't just hand out fortunes. "Why me?" Sarah finally asked. Julian's gaze was unwavering. "You have a certain quality, a spark, and you are undeniably beautiful." A chill prickled Sarah's skin. "What are the conditions?" "Simple. You dance only for me and my guests. No contact. Strictly professional. It's all outlined in the contract." He slid a thick document across the mahogany desk. Sarah skimmed the clauses, each more surreal than the last. Hesitation warred with desperation. Then Mikey's hungry eyes filled her mind. Without another thought, she grabbed the pen and signed. "Welcome to my world, Ms. Jenkins," Julian said, a faint, enigmatic smile playing on his lips. Sarah didn't realize then that contract wasn't just about Mikey's survival. It was about to shatter both their lives. The following evening, Sarah found herself back in the penthouse, nerves and a strange sense of determination battling within her. The contract felt heavier now, the reality of her situation sinking in. But Mikey's sleeping face, safe and hopefully dreaming of cartoons, kept her grounded. She was led to a dressing room, opulent and overwhelming. A shimmering emerald gown lay draped across a chaise lounge adorned with gold embroidery and sheer veils. Anklets with tiny bells glinted beside it. Sarah dressed in silence, the soft chime of the bells as she fastened them a strange prelude to the unknown. A butler summoned her. She followed him to a grand salon, tapestries and Persian rugs softening the room's stark grandeur. Julian sat on a velvet sofa with two men, distinguished and powerful looking. He nodded curtly, a silent command to begin. Music filled the room, a hypnotic melody that seemed to weave through the air. Sarah took a deep breath and moved. Her arms flowed, veils rippling like water, the anklet bells marking the rhythm. Each movement was deliberate yet fluid, telling a story without words. Julian watched, his expression unreadable, but something in his eyes shifted. Curiosity, perhaps admiration, maybe even something he couldn't define. Sarah danced, pouring her struggle, her fear, her fierce love for Mikey into every spin, every gesture. It wasn't just a performance, it was a silent scream, a plea, a declaration. When the music faded, Sarah bowed, waiting, her heart pounding. Silence hung heavy, then Julian's slow clap broke it, followed by his guests' polite applause. Impressive, Julian said, rising. You exceeded expectations. Sarah, despite the praise, remained composed. Thank you, Mr. Sterling, she replied, her voice steady before turning to leave. Julian stepped closer, his voice low, almost confidential. You did well tonight. Keep it up, and this arrangement will be mutually beneficial. Sarah just nodded and left, relief washing over her for surviving her first night. Later, heading to the assigned guest room, Sarah bumped into a woman who seemed to radiate ice. Sharp features, piercing eyes, scrutinizing everything. Sophia, Julian's cousin. Her disapproval was palpable, a silent threat. So, you're Sterling's dancer, Sophia said, her voice dripping sarcasm. Hope you know your place. Sarah met her gaze, unflinching. My place is wherever my son is safe and fed. Sophia raised a perfectly sculpted eyebrow, surprised by the steel in Sarah's voice. We'll see how long that lasts. Sarah refused to be intimidated. She knew there would be resistance, but nothing would deter her from her goal. Back in her room, Sarah stared at her reflection, tired but resolute. Mikey's face bloomed in her mind and a small smile touched her lips. Downstairs, Julian stood alone in the salon, his gaze fixed on the empty space where Sarah had danced. Lost in thought, he admitted to himself there was something undeniably captivating about her, something he couldn't ignore, a flicker of something long dormant within him. The third night arrived quickly, and Sarah was starting to navigate the penthouse's opulent maze, a strange sense of routine forming. Yet beneath the surface, she knew she was venturing deeper into an unknown, potentially dangerous world. Tonight, the salon was even more breathtaking, crystal chandeliers casting dazzling light. Julian sat alone, center stage. The absence of guests was unsettling, but Sarah dared not ask. She adjusted her veils, waiting for the music. The first notes drifted through the room, soft as a whisper. Sarah began, each movement precise, fluid, the silence punctuated only by the delicate chime of her anklets. Julian watched intently, his dark eyes following every spin, every graceful sweep of her arm. When the music ended, Sarah offered her customary bow. Julian stared for a long moment, then rose and approached her. You dance as if you carry the weight of 1,000 stories, he said, his voice low. Sarah swallowed hard. My story doesn't matter. I'm here to fulfill the contract. Julian raised an eyebrow, as if surprised by her bluntness. He tilted his head, studying her. Sometimes, he murmured, a contract can be more than just words on paper. He turned and walked away, leaving Sarah with a shiver tracing her spine. His words echoed in her mind, but her thoughts were cut short by another encounter with Sophia. Cold eyes, cynical smile, Sophia blocked Sarah's path in the corridor. You think you know Julian? Don't be fooled. He's a man of many secrets. I'm not interested in his secrets, Sarah replied, trying to stay calm. Sophia laughed, sharp and brittle. Ignorance is dangerous, especially for someone like you. Before Sarah could retort, Sophia swept away, leaving a heavy cloud of distrust in her wake. Later that night, footsteps in the hallway outside her room. Curious, Sarah peeked through the barely open door. Julian was walking towards a secluded wing of the penthouse. Intrigued, she followed, keeping to the shadows. He entered a room, the door closing behind him. Sarah strained to hear, catching fragments of conversation. Julian's voice, deep and controlled. She cannot know, not yet. The rest was muffled. Doubt bloomed in Sarah's mind. Who was Julian Sterling really? Why had he chosen her for this role? When Julian left the room, Sarah slipped back to her own, her heart pounding. Something was being hidden, something that could change everything. The next morning, Julian invited her to the penthouse's rooftop garden. He seemed more relaxed, dressed casually, but his gaze still held hidden depths. Sarah, he began, as they walked amongst the manicured greenery, why did you accept my contract? She hesitated, then answered honestly. My son means everything. I'll do anything to give him a better life. Julian nodded, as if expecting that answer. A mother's love is powerful, but I wonder, how much are you willing to sacrifice for him? Sarah stopped, meeting his gaze directly. Everything, to the last part of me. Silence hung between them. Sarah saw a flicker in Julian's expression. Respect? Something more? Then, he said, his tone cryptic, I hope you'll never have to prove it. Before Sarah could ask what he meant, Julian changed the subject, guiding her back inside. That night, Sarah wrestled with everything. Julian was hiding something, she knew it. It unsettled her, but Mikey remained her priority. If dancing kept him safe, she would endure no matter the cost. Outside, Julian stood by a floor-to-ceiling window, gazing at the city lights, hands clasped behind his back, lost in thought. Sarah was different, a challenge to his carefully constructed walls. She was a reminder that the past, no matter how buried, always found a way to surface. The secrets they both carried were intertwining, like the veils Sarah wore, delicate yet hiding layers of meaning. Sarah woke early, a fragile peace quickly shattered by a sharp knock. Sophia barged in, her face a mask of cold fury. "I see you're settling in," Sophia sneered, arms crossed. "Don't be delusional, you're just a disposable pawn in Julian's game." Sarah took a breath, refusing to react to the venom. "Whatever his reasons, they're none of your concern." Sophia stepped closer, eyes narrowed. "You think you know him. You're chasing a fantasy. Julian will never let someone like you get close." Sarah held her gaze, a quiet anger rising. "I don't want to get close to Julian. I'm here for Mikey, nothing more." Sophia's sarcastic laugh echoed. "We'll see how long that lie lasts." Later, Sarah tried to focus on dance practice. The choreographer, a stern woman, corrected every move with precision. But Sophia's words lingered, a dark undercurrent. Sarah pushed them aside. Each perfected step was one step closer to Mikey's safety. That evening, Julian hosted an intimate dinner. Sarah was summoned to perform. The salon glowed with candlelight. Sophia was there, a triumphant glint in her eye. Sarah began to dance, focusing, letting the music fill her. But as she spun, her eyes met Julian's. Something in his gaze was different, unsettling. It seemed to see past the dancer, into her soul. Performance over, polite applause. Sophia rose, ignoring Sarah, walking straight to Julian. "Beautiful, wasn't it?" she purred, her smile sharp. "Yes," Julian replied, his eyes still on Sarah. Sophia's smile faltered. "I hope you know what you're doing, cousin. Someone like her doesn't belong here." Julian turned to Sophia, his expression hardening. "And what world is here, Sophia? A world where we judge without knowing? Sarah has more integrity than many who grace these rooms." Sophia fell silent, anger simmering. She stormed out, leaving a heavy tension in the air. Days turned into weeks. Sarah avoided Sophia, but the woman was always there, a lurking shadow. One night, a note slipped under her door, short, chilling. "Be careful who you trust. Your secret could cost you everything." Sarah's stomach clenched. Sophia. But what secret? Determined to protect Mikey, Sarah went to Julian. He was in his study, papers scattered, but looked up as she entered. "I need to talk to you," Sarah said firmly. "Of course." Julian gestured to a chair. Sarah didn't sit. "Your cousin, Sophia, she's threatening me. I don't know what she wants, but I won't let it hurt Mikey." Julian's brow furrowed, expression darkening. "Sophia has no authority here. I'll handle her." "Can you guarantee that?" Sarah challenged, eyes burning. "Because I won't risk Mikey's safety." Julian held her gaze. "Sarah, you have my word. Under this roof, nothing will harm you or your son." Despite his firm tone, Sarah felt unease. Sophia wouldn't give up easily. Later that night, Sophia met a shadowy figure in a hidden corner of the penthouse. "Sarah Jenkins," Sophia hissed, handing him an envelope. "Expose her, get her out of here." The man nodded, melting into the shadows. Sophia smiled, confident Sarah's reign was ending. But Sarah wasn't one to back down. Maternal instinct, fierce determination, prepared her for battle. Julian, meanwhile, saw Sarah for who she was. Extraordinary. Her strength defied everything around her, including him. Fate seemed intent on weaving their lives together. Veils trembling, Sarah adjusted her costume. Sophia's threat echoed, but fear wouldn't win. Down the corridor towards the salon, Mikey's face her compass. Each step in this gilded cage was for him. Her dance. No mere performance, an act of survival. The salon was heavy. Julian alone on the sofa. Bells chimed softly as Sarah entered. He gestured. Music filled the room. Hypnotic melody. Sarah moved, precise, heart racing, mind battling worry. Dance, more than contract, a release, anguish and hope woven together. Julian watched, captivated, each gesture revealing something unseen. Silent connection, inexplicable, undeniable. Dance over, Julian approached, wordless, stopping close, eyes locked. "You're stronger than you seem," he said, observation and compliment. Sarah silent. How to respond? Contract fulfilled, yet Julian's intensity unsettling. "You dance as if carrying something heavier," he continued. "What gives you that strength?" Hesitation, then, "My son, he's everything." Julian nodded, understanding. "Mikey is lucky." Sarah looked away, pride and vulnerability mixing. Sophia won't be a problem, Julian added. I'll protect you and Mikey. My word. Sincerity in his voice, but words weren't enough. Sophia was dangerous. Urgent summons to Mikey's room. High fever, small body trembling. Sarah frantic, damp cloth, whispered comfort. Julian appeared, alarmed. What's wrong? Fever, Sarah's voice trembling. Doctor. Julian gestured. Assistant summoned, car prepared, hospital, best in city, Sarah clutching Mikey's hand. Hospital, quick treatment, doctor reassuring. Just fever, rest, fluids. Discharged. Back in penthouse, Mikey in bed, Sarah by his side, Julian at door, silent. Thank you, Sarah said without turning. We are even, Julian replied. No need to thank me. Anyone would do the same. Sarah sighed. Not everyone. Julian stepped closer, stopping short. Mikey is important to you. That makes him important to me. Sarah finally looked at him puzzled. Something in his expression unreadable. Sincere sadness. Why are you doing all this? She asked. Julian hesitated. Perhaps, he answered, because you remind me of something I lost long ago. Words hung heavy. Sarah didn't know how to respond, but Julian was opening up, revealing hidden layers. That night, Sarah barely slept. Julian's words, doubts, fears, swirling. Position precarious, but something deeper unfolding. Downstairs, Julian in his study, old photograph in hand. Smiling woman, small child. Thumb-traced woman's face. I promised, he murmured, never again. Photo tucked away, lights off. Fate intertwining Sarah, Julian. What lay ahead, test of strength, conviction. Penthouse gold reflecting cold marble as Sarah walked the corridor. Footsteps echoing, mind preoccupied. Mikey, Julian, constant worry for her son. Now Julian's enigmatic words. You remind me of something I lost. Turning corner, Sophia, elegant, eyes like blades, disdain. Captured Julian's attention, Sophia hissed, venomous smile. Don't be fooled, Sarah. He's ruthless, protecting his reputation. Not interested in approval, Sarah replied firm. Here for Mikey. Sophia stepped closer, menacing. Careful what you say, forces you don't understand. Sarah held Sophia's gaze. Before retort, Julian appeared, quick stride, overheard. Sophia, he called, commanding. Word in private? Sarah watched Sophia walk away with Julian. Tension palpable, something unfolding, vigilance necessary. Julian led Sophia to office, shut door. Usually composed face, now hard. Stop scheming, Sophia, he said, arms crossed. Protecting family, Sophia replied, chin raised. Sarah a threat. Julian narrowed eyes. Sarah not a threat. Mother protecting son. You clearly don't understand. Outsider, Sophia shot back, angry. Trust her more than family? Trust her loyalty, Julian said, firm. You've given reasons to question yours. Sophia paled, regained composure. Offending her, disgrace family. Enough. Julian cut her off, sharp. Harm Sarah, Mikey again banished. No second chances. Heavy silence. Sophia stormed out, Julian alone with thoughts. Sarah in room with Mikey, playing wooden blocks. Julian sent them. Watched son, thoughts on Julian. Facets. Protective, distant, mysterious. Knock on door. Braced for trouble. Julian. May I speak? He asked. Doorway. Sarah nodded. Julian stepped in, respectful distance. Safe here, he said, sincere eyes. Won't let Sophia anyone threaten you, Mikey. Appreciate that, Sarah replied, arms folded. Wondering why you're so willing to protect us. Julian sighed, looked away, then gaze met hers. Because you remind me of something I lost. Voice tinged emotion. Wife passed years ago, lost family chance. Seeing you fight for son reminds me what matters. Sarah silent, words unexpected. Genuine confession. Thank you, she said softly. Julian faint smile. Rest, Sarah. Tomorrow important. Next morning, Sophia, furious, schemed in room. Plans with shadowy man. Perfect, she said, handing folder. And Sarah exposed, once and for all. Man nodded, disappeared. Sophia smiled, victory near. Penthouse guard overheard, reported to Julian. Sophia willing to cross any line. Julian had to act. Nightfall, Julian summoned Sarah to salon. Tense, accepted. Julian approached, Determined eyes. Sarah, not alone, he said, firm. I'll ensure nothing happens to you, Mikey. Sarah looked at him, weighing words. Hope you're right, Julian. Already lost everything once. Can't lose Mikey. Julian nodded. Won't let that happen. Night marked new battle, loyalties tested, secrets surfacing. Penthouse unsettling calm, Sophia under surveillance. Julian reading room, haunted memories. Sarah room, burdened tension, truth about to surface. Evening, Julian note. Meet in salon. Fireplace, flames, Julian fixed gaze. Sarah, thank you. Still looking at fire. Why call me? Arms crossed. Julian turned slowly, serious. Things you need to know, my past, losses, weigh heavily. Sarah frowned, confused. Affect us, right to know. Julian nodded, gestured to sit. Years ago, lost wife, accident, shattered everything, shut myself off. But then, you. Sarah chilled, silent. Not just dancer, Sarah, brought something lost, hope. Julian voice softer. Fight for Mikey, reminds me what matters. See my struggles in yours, but strength I lost. Why telling me this now? Sarah asked, processing. Julian stepped closer, eyes locked. Protect you, Mikey, need complete trust, whole truth. Sarah silent, Julian continued. Wife's death, not accident, family intrigue. Surveillance on Sophia, protect Sarah. Family never accepted wife. Not noble, unacceptable. Paid price defying them. She lost life. Julian voice bitter. Sarah lump in throat. Julian deep pain. Think Sophia do same to me? Not thinking, Sarah, I know, Julian replied. Showed willingness to get rid of you. Always guard. Trust no one but me. Julian's words hung heavy. Sarah torn. Believe sincerity. Trusting him. Fate in hands of man. Many secrets. Next morning, Sarah answers on own. Mikey safe, penthouse secluded wing, Julian's personal documents. Learn more about protector. Room, photo album on table. Julian, smiling woman, young boy. Happiness contrasted serious Julian now. Album, letter fell out. Handwritten farewell from Julian's wife. My dearest Julian, love will face storms, never forget what we built. Protect our family, even costs everything. Eternal love, Amal. Tears filled Sarah's eyes. Understood Julian's burden, not just protecting her, atoning for past failure. Later, Julian found Sarah garden, quiet. Approached slowly, sensing change. Read letter, Julian said bluntly. Sarah nodded. Now I understand why you do what you do. Still, doesn't change dangerous game. Julian sighed, sat beside her. Don't want you go through what Amal went through. Don't want to lose anyone else. Then what do we do now? Sarah asked. Determined eyes. Julian horizon sunset. We fight. Won't let anyone take what's ours. Night. Sarah more confident. Saw Julian, not distant, enigmatic, but pain, strength like hers. Together, overcome obstacle. Sarah tucked Mikey in. Julian, palace, plan devising. Sophia tricks, but Julian ready to protect Sarah, Mikey. Pieces in motion, fate would test them. Sarah uneasy wake. Penthouse serene morning, heavy tension. Dressed, hurried footsteps hallway. Maid, pale, warned. Miss Sophia planning something. Be careful. Tension palpable, Sarah calm. Sophia wouldn't give up, prepared. Julian summoned Sarah office. Desk, documents, eyes concerned. Information, Sophia discrediting you, Julian said plainly. Authorities, accusing disrespecting traditions, tarnishing penthouse reputation. Sarah ground shifted. Danger? Mikey too? I know, Julian replied, steady. Measures taken, trust me. Trust isn't easy, Sarah countered, bitter. Julian leaned forward, eyes fixed. Hard, but not alone. I will protect you. Sophia, penthouse, shadowy man, plans reviewed. Everything perfect, Sophia said, handing envelope. Sarah exposed, once and for all. Man nodded, disappeared. Sophia smiled, plan succeeding. Evening, Julian dinner select guests, Sarah perform again. Salon candlelit, Sophia there triumphant. Sarah danced, focused, music-filled salon. Eyes met Julian's, unsettling, beyond dancer. Performance end, polite applause. Sophia rose, Julian ignoring Sarah. Beautiful, no? Cold smile. Yes, Julian replied, eyes still on Sarah. Sophia noticed, pressed lips. Hope you know what you're doing, cousin. Woman like her doesn't belong. Julian turned Sophia, expression hardening. What world is that? Judge without understanding. Sarah has more dignity than many in these rooms. Sophia silent, anger simmering. Left salon, heavy tension. Days. Sarah avoided Sophia. Lurking nearby. Note under door. Careful who trust. Secret cost dearly. Stomach turned. Sophia, how discover so much? Protect Mikey, Sarah went Julian. Study, documents, looked up, entered. Need to speak, Sarah, firm. Of course, Julian gestured chair. Sarah hesitated, straight point. Cousin Sophia, threatening me, don't know what, can't affect Mikey. Julian brow furrowed, expression hard. Sophia, no authority. Handle her. Guarantee, Sarah challenged, eyes burning. Risk Mikey's safety? Julian held gaze. Sarah, my word. Roof, nothing harm you, son. Firm tone, Sarah uneasy. Sophia wouldn't give up easily. Night, Sophia shadowy man, hidden corner penthouse. Sarah Jenkins, Sophia hissed. Envelope. Expose her, get her out. Man nodded, shadows. Sophia smiled, Sarah's end. Sarah, not back down. Maternal instinct, determination, prepared battle. Julian saw Sarah extraordinary. Strength defied all him. Fate weaving lives. Veils trembling, Sarah adjusted. Sophia's threat echoed. Fear wouldn't win. Corridor, salon, Mikey's face compass. Each step gilded cage, him, dance, more contract, survival. Salon heavy, Julian alone sofa. Bells chimed, Sarah entered. Subtly gestured, music-filled room, hypnotic. Sarah moved, precise, heart racing, mind battling worry. Dance, more than contract, release, anguish, hope. Julian watched, captivated, gesture revealing. Silent connection, undeniable. Dance end, Julian approached, wordless, close, eyes locked. Stronger than seem, said, observation, compliment. Sarah silent. How respond? Contract fulfilled, Julian intensity unsettling. Dance as though carrying heavier, he continued. Strength, hesitated. My son, everything. Julian nodded, understanding. Mikey lucky. Sarah looked away, pride, vulnerability. Sophia, no longer problem, Julian added. Protect you, son, my word. Sincerity, words weren't enough. Sophia dangerous. Urgent summons, Mikey's room. High fever, trembling. Sarah frantic, cloth, comfort. Julian appeared, alarmed. What wrong? Fever, Sarah voice trembling. Doctor, Julian gestured. Assistant, car, hospital, best city. Sarah clutching Mikey's hand. Hospital, quick treatment, doctor reassured. Fever, rest, fluids. Discharged. Penthouse, Mikey bed, Sarah side. Julian door silent. Thank you, Sarah without turning. We even, Julian replied. No need thank anyone, Sarah sighed. Not everyone. Julian closer, stopping short. Mikey important you, makes him important me. Sarah looked puzzled. Expression unreadable? Sadness? Why doing all this? Asked. Julian hesitated. Perhaps, answered, because you remind me something I lost. Words heavy. Sarah respond? Julian opening up, hidden layers. Night, Sarah barely slept. Julian words, doubts, fears. Position precarious, something deeper unfolding. Downstairs, Julian study, photo hand, smiling woman, child, thumb traced woman's face. I promised, murmured, never again. Photo away, lights off. Fate intertwining Sarah, Julian. What ahead? Test strength, conviction. Penthouse gold reflecting cold marble as Sarah walked corridor. Footsteps echoing, mind preoccupied. Mikey, Julian, worry for son. Julian's words. You remind me what I lost. Turning corner, Sophia, elegant, eyes blades, disdain. Captured Julian's attention, Sophia hissed, venomous smile. Don't be fooled, Sarah. Ruthless protecting reputation. Not interested approval, Sarah replied firm. Here for Mikey. Sophia stepped closer, menacing. Careful what say. Forces don't understand. Sarah held gaze. Before retort, Julian appeared, quick stride, overheard. Sophia, he called, commanding. Word private? Sarah watched Sophia walk away Julian. Tension palpable, something unfolding, vigilance necessary. Julian led Sophia office, shut door, usually composed face, hard. Stop scheming, Sophia, he said, arms crossed. Protecting family, Sophia replied, chin raised. Sarah a threat. Julian narrowed eyes. Sarah not threat, mother protecting son. You don't understand. Outsider, Sophia shot back angry. Trust her more than family? Trust her loyalty, Julian said, firm. You've given reasons, question yours. Sophia paled, regained composure. Offending her, disgrace family. Enough, Julian cut her off, sharp. Harm Sarah, Mikey again, banished. No second chances. Heavy silence. Sophia stormed out, Julian alone thoughts. Sarah room Mikey playing blocks. Julian sent. Watched son, thoughts Julian. Facets, protective, distant, mysterious. Knock door. Braced trouble. Julian. May I speak? He asked. Doorway. Sarah nodded. Julian stepped in, respectful distance. Safe here, he said, sincere eyes. Won't let Sophia, anyone threaten you, Mikey. Appreciate that, Sarah replied, arms folded. Wondering why willing protect us. Julian sighed, looked away, gaze met hers. Because you remind me something I lost. Voice tinged emotion. Wife passed years ago, lost family chance. Seeing you fight for son reminds me what matters. Sarah silent, words unexpected, genuine confession. Thank you, she said softly. Julian faint smile. Rest, Sarah. Tomorrow, important. Next morning, Sophia, furious, schemed room. Planned shadowy man. Perfect, Sophia said, handing folder, and Sarah exposed, once and for all. Man nodded, disappeared. Sophia smiled, victory near. Penthouse guard overheard, reported Julian. Sophia willing cross any line. Julian had act. Nightfall, Julian summoned Sarah salon. Tense, accepted. Julian approached, determined eyes. Sarah, not alone, firm. I'll ensure nothing happens you, Mikey. Sarah looked him, weighing words. Hope you're right, Julian. Already lost everything once. Can't lose Mikey. Julian nodded. Won't let that happen. Night marked new battle. Loyalties tested. Secret surfacing. Penthouse unsettling calm. Sophia under surveillance. Julian reading room haunted memories. Sarah room burdened tension truth surface. Evening Julian note meet salon. Fireplace. Flames. Julian fixed gaze. Sarah, thank you. Still looking fire. Why call me? Arms crossed. Julian turned slowly, serious. Things need know. My past, losses, weigh heavily. Sarah frowned, confused. Affect us, right? No. Julian nodded, gestured sit. Years ago, lost wife. Accident, shattered everything, shut myself off. But then you came. Sarah chilled, silent. Not just dancer, Sarah. Brought something lost. Hope. Julian voice softer. Fight for Mikey reminds me what matters. See my struggles yours. Strength I lost. Why telling me now? Sarah asked, processing. Julian stepped closer, eyes locked. Protect you, Mikey. Need complete trust. Whole truth. Sarah silent. Julian went on. Wife's death, not accident. Family intrigue. Surveillance Sophia. Protect Sarah. Family never accepted wife. Not noble. Unacceptable. Paid price defying them. She lost life. Julian voice bitter. Sarah lump throat. Julian deep pain. Think Sophia do same to me? Not thinking, Sarah. I know, Julian replied. Showed willingness get rid of you. Always guard. Trust no one but me. Julian's words hung air, filled intensity. Sarah torn. Believe sincerity? Trusting him, fate hands man, many secrets. Next morning, Sarah answers own. Mikey safe. Penthouse secluded wing, Julian's personal documents. Learn more protector. Room, photo album table. Julian, smiling woman, young boy. Happiness contrasted serious Julian now. Album, letter fell out. Handwritten farewell, Julian's wife. My dearest Julian, love face storms, never forget what we built. Protect family, even costs everything. Eternal love, Amal. Tears filled Sarah's eyes. Understood Julian's burden. Not just protecting her, atoning for past failure. Later, Julian found Sarah garden, quiet. Approached slowly, sensing change. Read letter, Julian said bluntly. Sarah nodded. Now understand why do what do. Still, doesn't change dangerous game. Julian sighed, sat beside her. Don't want you go through what Amal went through. Don't want lose anyone else. Then what we do now? Sarah asked, determined eyes. Julian horizon, sunset. We fight. Won't let anyone take what's ours. Night, Sarah more confident. Saw Julian, not distant, enigmatic, pain, strength like hers. Together, overcome obstacle. Sarah tucked Mikey in. Julian, penthouse, plan devising. Sophia tricks, Julian ready protect Sarah, Mikey. Pieces motion, fate would test them. Sarah woke middle night, strange noise hallway. Heart raced, got up, open door, peek out. Two men, dark uniforms approaching. Sophia, cold smile. Before Sarah closed door, spotted her. Sarah Jenkins? One man asked, firm voice. Summoned answer authorities. Accused of what? Sarah alarmed, composed. Violating morality laws country, man replied, expressionless. Need come with us. Before Sarah respond, Julian appeared hallway, palpable fury. Commanding presence, men hesitated. Meaning of this? Julian demanded, voice thunder. Received formal complaint, official explained. Following orders. Julian stepped closer, dominant stance intimidating. Who authorized this? Documents. Officer handed Julian document, scanned quickly, eyes narrowed. Sophia's doing, name nowhere, Julian knew. Absurd, Julian declared, tearing paper half. Sarah, my guest, no one lay hand on her under my roof. Officer's uneasy glances, Sophia stepped forward. Law above hospitality, Julian, malicious smile. Can't protect her forever. Enough, Sophia, Julian roared, voice echoing hallway. Done enough harm, Sarah. Continue madness, face consequences. Officers, sensing Julian's stance, withdrew. Investigation continue. Night, Julian gathered trusted men. Sophia gone too far, pacing study. Willing destroy Sarah, get me. What do? One asked. Julian stopped, window. Find something expose her. Prove accusations false, Sophia real culprit. Sarah room, soothing Mikey, frightened commotion. Mommy here, whispered, holding close. Nothing happened to us. Deep down, danger closer than ever. Julian doing everything. Sophia wouldn't stop until destroyed. Next morning, Julian summoned Sarah salon. Waiting, serious expression. Need talk, gestured chair. Sarah sat, weight of what come. What happened? Authorities investigating, Julian explained. Sophia playing dirty, falsified documents, accusations, complicate situation further. If they believe her? Sarah asked, trembling voice. Mikey, danger? Julian closed eyes moment. Promise nothing happened him. Strategic, face this together. Sarah calm, Julian continued investigation. Sophia fabricated evidence, needed concrete proof. Contacts, intercepted message, Sophia, shadowy man. Make sure Sarah formally charged, plant evidence if needed. Hand, Julian upper hand. Meeting authorities, expose Sophia, protect Sarah. Hours before meeting, officers again. Formal arrest warrant. Julian tried to intervene, men determined take her. Take care of Mikey, Sarah said. Julian escorted out. Promise me, Julian. Be safe. I promise, Julian replied, grim face. Sarah local prison, cold, desolate. Small cell, metal bed, tiny window, sliver light. Thin mattress, held back tears. Outside, Julian action. Documents incriminating Sophia, authorities. Case unexpected turn, Sophia summoned testify. Furious, denied everything. Evidence undeniable. Attempted frame innocent woman, Julian hearing. Accountable. Authorities released Sarah, deeper investigation Sophia. Julian retrieved prison. Sarah emerged cell, Julian waiting. Relieved look, concern lingered. Are you okay? Asked gently, taking arm. Yes, Sarah replied, weak voice. Mikey? Safe, Julian assured. Let's go home. Penthouse. Sarah silent, processing. Arrived, Mikey ran arms, Sarah held tightly, vowing protect him. Julian watched, weight lifted, battle not over. Sophia faced justice, Julian do everything ensure Sarah, Mikey peace. Next morning, quiet. Sarah felt weight pass days. Back penthouse, Sophia's threat hung over her. Mikey played garden, maids watching. Sarah walked corridors, summoned salon, Julian waiting. Armchair window, desert gaze. Entered, Julian stood, tense posture. Need talk. Firm, calm voice. Sarah nodded, sat nearby. About what? Julian deep breath. Since you arrived, affected me ways didn't expect. Tried professional, can't ignore feelings. Sarah stared, surprised, silent. Julian continued. You're strong, Sarah. Determination protect Mikey, courage facing everything, made me see buried things. Not man I was before lost them all. With you, feel like can start again. Words breathless. Sarah knew Julian kind, protective, never imagined feelings. Julian, Sarah began, voice faltered. Thoughts gathered, moment intensity difficult. No might be overwhelming, Julian breaking silence. Need be honest. Don't expect answer immediately, Sarah. Just wanted you know what's in my heart. Sarah lowered gaze, whirlwind emotions. Everything done been for Mikey, said at last. Somehow, you've become part of that. Don't know what think. Life chaotic, not sure trust something feels too good true. Julian stepped closer, gentle voice. Don't have decide anything now. Just know I'm here, no matter what happens, Sarah. Never alone again. Conversation, Julian left deep thought, rest day. Watched Mikey play, Sarah reflected Julian's words. Always built Wall's heart. Julian determined breakthrough. Later, Julian joined garden, kneeling beside Mikey, building tower blocks. Towers getting tall, little one, Julian smile. Mikey looked up, laughing. Going reach clouds. Sarah watched interaction, surprise, warmth, Julian, once distant, stern, now relaxed, fatherly. Genuine affection, Mikey. Evening, Julian invited Sarah dinner penthouse terrace. Lanterns, soft music. Sarah hesitated, accepted. Why all this? Asked, sat down. Celebrate finally free threats, Julian replied, sincere smile. More importantly, celebrate you, Mikey. Sarah couldn't help smile. Cautious, couldn't deny Julian made everything lighter. Evening progressed, talked everything. Lives before meeting, challenges faced, dreams held. First time, Sarah felt truly trust Julian. Know it's early think future, Julian said, breaking silence. Want you know no matter what you choose, I'll stand by your side. Sarah deep breath, weighing words. Thank you, Julian, everything. Days followed, Sarah exploring new possibilities, didn't want simply protected, wanted build something for herself, Mikey. Julian, recognizing determination, encouraged pursue whatever bring happiness. Morning, led small hall penthouse, unused years. Thought might turn into something own, Julian suggested. School for Mikey, other children, space teach dance. Sarah silent, deeply moved gesture. Julian showing important role here, guest, someone contribute meaningfully. It's beautiful, finally said. Love do something like this. Sarah planning hall, Julian watched distance, growing satisfaction. Always known. Sarah strong, determined, seeing her thrive under protection, warmed heart. Julian knew challenges ahead. Position penthouse, connection Sarah spark new conflicts, need ready face them. Afternoon, Sarah worked hall, Mikey ran in. Paper. Mama, look what I drew. Sarah took paper, simple but meaningful drawing, her, Mikey, Julian, holding hands, bright sun shining above. It's beautiful, my love, hugged son. Julian just entered room, smiled, saw drawing. Looks like we're already family, remarked playfully. Sarah looked him. First time felt truly possible. Weak, Sarah woke, peace hadn't felt long time. Security Julian provided, Mikey's laughter filled heart hope. Morning, strolling garden, Julian approached, look blended seriousness, warmth. Sarah, may I steal you away few hours today? Asked, extending hand. Where we going? Asked, surprised. Secret, replied enigmatic smile. Julian took dessert, hidden oasis. Magical place, palm trees, lake reflecting sky. Center, table elegantly decorated white flowers, candles. Julian, what is this? Sarah amazed. Want this moment unforgettable, replied, pulling chair sit. Dinner, Julian spoke how Sarah, Mikey transformed life. Before you, penthouse just empty structure, he said. Now, home. Want make official. Sarah looked puzzled. Julian stood, small box pocket, kneeling, eyes fixed hers. Sarah, from moment you entered life, everything changed. Brought light darkest days, shown true meaning love, courage, want spend rest life by your side. Will you marry me? Sarah speechless, tears streaming, voice choked emotion replied, Yes, Julian, I will. Julian smiled, slipped ring finger, delicate gold band, small diamond sparkling sunlight. Stood, pulled tight embrace, gentle emotion-filled kiss. Months dedicated wedding preparations. Mikey excited, took part detail. Penthouse transformed fairy tale setting. Gardens adorned flower arches, lights twinkling like stars. Big day, Sarah white gown, intricate gold accents. Light veil floated breeze as walked aisle, Mikey proudly holding hands. Julian waited altar, pristine ceremonial tunic, calm smile, eyes deep emotion. Eyes met, Sarah felt weight past vanished. Officiant recited words unity, Julian slipped new ring Sarah's finger. She did same for him. Profound wholeness filled them. Ceremony, reception, penthouse gardens. Guests danced, laughed, celebrated couples' union. Sarah, Julian danced beneath stars. Mikey ran tables, small bouquets flowers. Julian, Sarah whispered, danced. Thank you everything, giving me home, new life. I should thank you, Julian replied, voice emotion. You've brought joy, meaning life. Months turned years, life penthouse flourished. Sarah transformed Wing Penthouse School, local children. Julian dedicated expanding humanitarian projects. Mikey grew up happy, love, security, loved helping Sarah's school, often accompanied Julian trips, learning responsibility, leadership. Every day, Sarah felt decision trust Julian, accept love, right one. Past, marked hardships, laid foundation, future-filled love, hope, happiness.